Good morning children. How are you all? Hope you are all doing good. Today we are with new lesson number 5, natural disasters from Sem 2 textbook, page number 214. Page number 214. So take out all the Sem 2, all of you. Sem 2 textbook, page number 214. That is lesson number 5, natural disasters. It is a new lesson, children. So let us study about the natural disasters. Natural disasters are the terrible event caused by the nature. Terrible event means it is very dangerous or horrible or extremely sad event caused by the force of nature. And also extreme conditions of weather changes occurs inside the earth's surface may lead to the natural disasters. But these natural disasters are very the natural disasters brings very destruction, damage, pain and suffer. Isn't it, children? All the living things will suffer from this natural disasters. Isn't it? Natural disasters, it is very horrible. We can't tolerate this natural disasters. From this natural disasters, we may suffer or we may get pain. Lots of pain we will get. Isn't it, children? So in this lesson, we will study about some natural disasters. Let us learn about some natural disasters. First one, that is earthquake. First one, that is earthquake, children. Probably you already heard about the earthquake, isn't it, children? What is meant by earthquake and how the earthquake will happen, children? Already you know, Earth's surface is made up of some massive slabs of rocks. Some massive slabs of rocks. These rocks or massive slabs of rocks are called tectonic plates. These are called tectonic plates, children. So, these tectonic plates are always moving position inside the earth's surface, children. These tectonic plates are always moving position in the earth, inside the earth. So, by this moving position, they collide one another. These plates collide one another. By this colliding, they will create or they will release some tremendous energy. Some quantities of dangerous energy will be released by the colliding movement. So this energy produces some vibration inside the rocks. This energy produces the vibration of the rocks. With the pressure, this vibrating rocks will come out from the earth's surface. And how this is exactly happens, the earthquake. By the movement of the tectonic plates, they will collide one another. By this colliding movement, they will create or they will release some energy, some quantities of energy, that is very dangerous energy they will release. By this releasing energy, the rocks or the plates, tectonic plates will start to vibrate. For this vibrating movement, the plates or rocks will come out from the surface, come out from the earth's surface. How this is called how this earthquake will happen, isn't it, children? So next, that is the position, children. The location of a fault where the earthquake starts is called hypocenter. I wrote one point here, children. This point, assume that this point is the exact position where the earthquake is happened. So assume that this is a point or position of where the earthquake is happened. So this point is called hypocenter. This point is called hypocenter, exactly above, that the position directly above it on the ground. This is the ground surface, children. So where the earthquake happens in that exact, from this exact position directly above it on the ground, this point is called epicenter. The position of a fault where the earthquake starts, this is called hypocenter, and the position directly above it on the ground surface, that point is called epicenter. That point is called epicenter. Is it clear, children, about hypocenter and epicenter? Yes. Next, move to that seismograph. What does it mean by seismograph, children? It is nothing but it is an instrument. It is a small sensitive instrument. With the help of this instrument, we can measure the earthquake. We can measure the earthquake. See children, usually the earthquakes will create some seismic waves. These waves will recorded in this seismograph. The record what they have printed on this some paper, they have printed some waves, right children, like ECG and all. So that printed record is called seismograph. The instrument which is measured of the seismic wave of the earthquake is called seismograph, and what they have what recorded in the instrument is called seismogram. Is it clear children? Seismograph, it is a sensitive instrument, so we can measure the seismic waves of the earthquake. So the record of the record of ground shaking recorded by the seismograph is called seismogram. Is it clear children? So thousands of earthquakes takes place every year. Every year thousands of earthquakes will happen children, but only a few of them are destructive. Only a few are the destructive that carries the lots of pain and damage children. All the earthquakes are not dangerous. How we can measure the how this earthquake is very harmful or this earthquake is not less destructive? How we can find it children? So by the Richter value. All the earthquake has some magnitude. Magnitude, it is measuring an earthquake. Next topic, measuring an earthquake. How we measure the earthquake? How that earthquake is destructive to the life cycle. So the strength or magnitude of an earthquake is measured by the Richter scale. Here one scale is there, that is Richter scale. By this Richter scale we can measure the magnitude or strength of the earthquake. With how much strength the earthquake is happened, that strength is measured with the help of Richter scale. So in this Richter scale, now always the Richter scale showing some measuring points children, that is 1 to 8, it is commonly measuring point of the Richter scale. If the earthquake happens in the number of 1, the Richter scale showing if the earthquake happens in some place, the Richter scale is showing that number is 1, so that is less destructive. That is less destructive. So the Richter scale shows if it is 8 or 7 number, then it is very dangerous and it is very strength. It has very strength. That earthquake has very strength or very high magnitude. The high magnitude, the earthquake is happened. So with the number of 7, 8 and that number shows the very destructive earthquake is happened. Isn't it children? So by this Richter scale we can measure the magnitude of the earthquake. Magnitude, it is nothing but the strength of the earthquake children. With the how much pressure the earthquake has, that is called magnitude. So that is measured by the Richter scale. Isn't it children? Is it clear? Is it clear about the earthquake children? So next coming to the volcanoes. Next coming to the volcanoes children. Volcano is a landform where molten rocks erupt through the surface of the planet. In simple terms, a volcano is a mountain that opens downwards to a pool of molten rocks below the surface of the earth. It is a hole in the earth from which molten rocks and gas erupted. See children, volcano is nothing but it's a see, if you see any videos of the volcano, you can see volcano, it is coming from the fire, isn't it children? Some fire will come out from the surface of the earth. That fire is called, usually we call it as lava. So coming out of the lava inside from the inside earth, coming out of the lava, that is called usually volcano. So children, it is a earth surface. So this earth surface is made up of 3 layers. First, crust, mantle and core. Okay. So crust is the outer surface, mantle is the inner surface, middle one. So the core is inside the earth surface. So the inner surface, the crust is the outer layer of the earth. It is about 18 miles thick. It is about 18 miles thick, the outer surface, that is crust, children. Then the second layer is called mantle. The second layer is called mantle. It is about 1800 miles of thickness, and the inner layer is called core. The inner layer, it is called core, children. First, learn this layers of the earth. Then I will explain how the volcano will happen. How the volcano will coming out from the earth. Okay. So these are the three layers: crust, mantle, and the core. Crust is the outer layer of the earth surface, and mantle is the inner layer, second layer, and the core is the inner layer. So the earth crust is made up of huge slabs called plates. Already I told that there is some tectonic plates present inside the earth surface. They are all these plates are all in the moving position, isn't it, children? So by this same, how the earthquake will happen. How the earthquake will happen in the same manner the volcano will happen, children. By this movement of the plate, this part, the mantle in the second layer, isn't it, children? The second layer mantle, it has some, in this area, some substance is called, that is magma. In the second layer, that is in the second layer mantle, it has surrounded some substance called magma, children. So from this magma, which is made up of rocks and gases, this is made up of rocks and gases, children. The mantle, second layer of the earth's surface, it is made up of one substance, that is magma. That magma consists the gases and the rocks. So these rocks are always moving in the position. By creating the they will collide each other, correct? They will collide one another. By this colliding, they will release lots of energy, that tremendous energy that they will release. So due to this energy, the rocks starts to vibrate in this area, in this mantle area, in the second layer. This second layer has some gases also, isn't it, children? And the rocks also present in the mantle area. So this vibration of this tectonic plates, the pressure, here some pressure will create inside the mantle area. With the pressure, with the vibration, the rocks, they are molten in state, that coming out from the earth surface. They are coming out from this crust. They are coming out from this earth surface with the gases and with the molten rocks. That is called volcano. How the volcano will happen, children, isn't it? That magma is squeezed up between two plates. When the magma erupts through the earth surface, it is called lava. So the magma where it is present in the second layer of the earth, that is called mantle. In the mantle area, the second layer of the earth surface, it is covered with some magma. Magma, it is nothing but some rocks and gases. So these rocks, these plates are always moving in position, children. By this movement, they will collide one another. So by colliding one another, they will release lots of quantity of energy. They release lots of quantity of energy. With that energy, they start vibrate. So this vibration creates some pressure. So that pressure, by creating these rocks and vibration, that magma is squeezed between the two plates. So the magma is squeezed between the two plates, and it is coming out from the earth. It is erupted through the earth surface. How that volcano is happen. This is what the volcano is happen, children. So types of volcanoes. There are three types of volcanoes, children. One is active volcanoes. Second one one by one. According to the nature of their eruption, the volcano is divided into three different types. First one is active volcano. Active volcanoes are those that may erupt any time or have erupted in the recent past. Mount Fuji, Mount Venus and Mount Etna are some well-known active volcanoes. Active volcanoes, it is nothing but they are always active state, children. They are always active state. So these volcanoes that may erupt any time because they are always active mode. So they will erupt any time. This is called the active volcano. For the active volcano, they have given some example, that is Mount Fuji, Mount Vesuvius and Mount Etna are some well-known active volcanoes. So the second one is dormant volcanoes. Those volcanoes that have not erupted for a long time but might erupt in the future, like hidden molten volcanoes. It is like a hidden volcanoes. Dormant volcanoes, it acts like a hidden volcanoes. They are hidden. They are present in the earth, inside the earth's surface, but they won't get any time. They won't get erupt any time, children. They are hidden. Sometimes they will get erupted. They will come out from the earth's surface. Mount Kea in USA is a dormant volcano. The example, that is one volcano is present in the USA, that is Mount Kea in USA is the example for the dormant volcanoes. So next one is extinct volcanoes, children. The next one is extinct volcanoes. Extinct volcanoes are those that have been inactive for thousands of years. So these are extinct. Extinct means they are inactive. Excuse me. They are inactive for the thousands of years. So extinct volcanoes are those have been inactive for thousands of years. They are inactive for the thousands of years and are not expected to erupt again. We are not expecting that the extinct volcanoes erupted again. Mount Pope in Myanmar is an extinct volcano. For the extinct volcanoes, they have given one example. Mount Pope in Myanmar is the example for the extinct volcanoes, children, isn't it? So next, coming to the tsunami. Tsunami, you have already heard about that tsunami, how the tsunami will happen and what the damages causes from the tsunamis, isn't it, children? So tsunami is a series of huge waves that happen after an undersea disturbance. Even the same earthquake and volcano, how the earthquake and volcano happens, in the same manner only tsunami happens, but it is taken place inside the sea, that is undersea disturbance. From the undersea disturbance, the tsunami will happen, children. So, such as an earthquake or volcano's eruption. The waves travel in all directions from the area of disturbance, much like the ripples that happen after throwing a stone in a pond. It is nothing but, children, how the tsunami will happen if in one place the tsunami occurs. In the undersea, in this point the tsunami is happened. So from this point the waves or the sea repulses, correct? How they repulse, like if you throw a stone to the pond, how the water waves repulse, like that only that waves repulse from the tsunami, from the point of tsunami, where that undersea disturbance occurs. From this point, the waves reaches all the directions. The waves may travel in the open sea as fast as 450 miles per hour. The waves may travel. The waves created from this undersea disturbance, or it is called tsunami. The waves, it is how much speed it is, how much speed that the waves travels, that is 450 miles per hour. 450 miles per hour that waves will travel. With this speed, the waves will travel. Then the height it is 100 feet. Then the height it is 100 feet. What's the height of the waves? That may 100 feet. So as the big waves approaches shallow waters along the coast, they grow to a great height and smash into the shore. They can also high as 100 feet. They can cause a lot of destruction on the shore. They are sometimes mistakenly called tidal waves. So children, in the sea, in the ocean, we can see some tidal waves. There are tidal waves are different from the tsunami, children. That is, tidal waves, it is not that much destructive. They are usually, we can see on the ocean sometimes. But the tsunami is different from the tidal waves. So don't get confused with the tidal waves in the tsunami. So the tidal waves are not that much effective or that much destructive, but the tsunami is very destructive. From the tsunami, the water waves is destruction, right? The destruction of the water waves are coming out from the sea. That waves are 450 miles per hour. This is the speed of the waves. You can think about the speed of the wave. That is 450 miles per hour. So how much the tsunami is destructive to the living things, isn't it, children? So next, drought, floods and cyclone. Next we will study in the next class, children. Please go through this lesson, read the lesson properly, children. We will discuss in the interaction session, children. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the interaction class, children. In the interaction class, little bit we will go detailed about these earthquakes, volcanoes and the tsunami, children, isn't it? So go through the lesson, read the lesson once.